I have a great idea.
But I'll never do it.
It might happen. Sure, the monkeys might fly out of my butt. I don't think so.
I don't see it happening.
Hey, it's me, Jon.
And me, Louise.
And this is I Have a Great Idea, but I'll Never Do It, your favorite show about the great ideas that we have that we ain't never gonna do. Louise, I had an idea the other day, and I am going to do it. Can I talk about this and get it out of the way?
Get it off your chest. Let it out.
Okay.
Don't let it poison you.
Okay, so I don't go out much, and so when I do, I feel like I need to make it count. And for the friendships that I have, I want to make sure that they're nurtured appropriately, and that if we're going to go do something, it should feel like something different. Because it seems like once you cross a certain age, let's say 40, it seems like you run out of things that you're willing to do because it's, you're past the age where you're just like, hey, let's go dumpster diving. Or,
Well, also,
whatever.
you got to look out for things that you never thought about in your 20s. We'll call them knees.
Absolutely.
I can't wear those shoes. I might twist my ankle.
Right?
I certainly can't go snowboarding. I would go skiing. It's kind of the same. Because what happens if I tear my ACL? Which,
Well, there's always the danger of that happening, especially when you get older. But what I'm thinking is, okay, I don't like doing nighttime activities because
it's nighttime.
it's nighttime. I'm elderly, and I love a midday going and doing something like midday. I feel like we've talked before about having like an errand buddy, and that's a fun thing. But here's one thing that I'm going to do, and I'm calling it something that I think should be pretty self-explanatory: 2 half lunches. So what you do is maybe you collectively choose, or one of you can choose 2 places to go to eat. You go to one place, you order one thing, and you split it between the 2 of you. And then you go to the other place, and you get one thing, and you split it between the 2 of you. 2 different environments, 2 different atmospheres completely, 2 different, maybe wait staff is different. You have a different clientele around you, a different vibe completely. And it just gives you a completely different experience, and I feel like that's what feeds the fodder. It gives you things to talk about. It gives you these shared experiences that you can take with you. Whereas, like, if you just meet somebody for lunch, your chances of having a unique experience are drastically lower than if you go to 2 places for lunch.
I love it. I love it. And I think you should do it. And I also might do it.
Well, you know what? Let's, one of us needs to plan a cross-country trip, and we'll do it together, or we'll meet somewhere in the middle.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well done.
So that's what I'm definitely going to do. And it's not like, a lot of times we talk about things on here where maybe it's an invention, a product, exactly. And It's like, this is just a concept. This is just a thing to do.
An
2 half
idea.
lunches. 2 half lunches.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you typically like to do when you are like meeting up with a friend?
Honestly, I like to be at a park.
A park is a wonderful place. Yes.
Yeah. I especially, just because I was a Manhattanite, I would love Central Park because there are like things you can do in there. Like watch a, baseball game between Broadway casts, or
What? Really? That's a thing?
Oh yeah. They have baseball teams, so you could watch Wicked play Gypsy, and on their days off, obviously days they don't have. But things like that you could do, or in the winter you can get like hot nuts while you watch people ice skate. Or you can go to the park and make fun of the kids that fall down.
You can do that
apparatus
anywhere, to be
park.
fair.
Well, you
don't have to be in Central Park for that.
The odds of kids falling.
But if you want to eat hot nuts while you're doing it, New York is a good place
That's
to go
right.
to
or
do
you
that.
can get a cocktail if there's like restaurants that sort of are on the outskirts of the park, but in the park.
Has anyone
like,
ever
you
made
could just
hot nuts at home, or is that something that you can only get at like a roadside
a
kiosk?
cart.
A
Yeah, I
cart.
was gonna say, I've never made. Well, chestnuts roasting by an open fire.
It's different.
Okay. Then no, I've never made hot nuts.
Chestnuts
I was like, does Chex Mix count?
No.
No.
Are there nuts in Chex Mix traditionally?
Aren't there? Oh, I guess I
guess-
thought there was.
I mean,
Maybe there isn't.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just like
Cereal, pretzels.
cornmeal and pretzels and stuff like that. Anyway,
Okay.
but no, yeah, going
The
to a
Midwest version has nuts.
Oh, okay. I'm just thinking about like the store bought in a bag. You plop it open and you dive
But
right in.
here's an idea that somebody should do. Hot nuts in a bag that you can buy from the grocery store and quick pop in the microwave for some like movie at home snacking.
I think that's an awesome idea. I don't think I've ever gotten hot nuts on the street in New York.
It's called Hano. Hot nuts at home.
I was like, what is she talking about? Hot nuts at home. Yeah, there you go. Well, look at that. An idea in the wild. Hey, if you are out there and you are an idea smith, if you are somebody who makes things happen, hot nuts at home. There you go.
Or
have it.
email us at greatideapod@gmail.com.
Yeah. Give us a call, 304-804-IDEA, and you can tell us about how you're going to turn hot nuts at home into the hottest product of 2025.
It's how you made
The
your
hottest
millions.
product in 2025.
Hey.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
Neat.
So what's been going on with you? I mean, I know that you have been on a journey with a lot of like stuff at home. We know this because in the past few episodes, a lot of your ideas have been related to this kind of thing. So where are we at now? What's happening?
Okay. The idea that I have has a spiffy name. It's called Octodolly.
Ooh.
I know. Octodolly is like an octopus kind of shaped mechanism that you put around odd shaped, we'll call them bulbous
Sure.
planters that have plants that are too big to just take off a shelf and move to a different window. Because this Octodolly is going to like grab it and then put it on wheels or sliders and move it across a carpet or a hardwood floor or a linoleum, what have you,
Whatever the floor may be.
to not scratch it up and ruin it.
Yeah.
Because what I've learned is while the plants look beautiful, you do kind of got to move them around because some of them get a little finicky during different types of the year. A draft comes in under a door or a window, or they start like leaning because they're like reaching for the
Reaching for the
sunlight,
sun.
and then they start twisting, and that's not great. And then it's too big and cumbersome for me to actually move by myself.
Yeah.
In comes Octodolly
Right.
to grab it octopus style or spider leg style
Right. Mhm.
to help move it up onto sliders and wheels to ease my struggle.
So you use this thing to kind of grip it, and then you kind of teeter it so that it goes onto something that you can slide under it.
Like
Okay.
yeah, I'm thinking if you're very fancy, you could put it on some kind of like plant Roomba
Well,
that mechanically moves it around. Or
Could it-
teeters it so that you can at least get like a slider,
well,
foam
here,
on the top and like plastic on the bottom to get it across a carpet.
if I'm to snowball on your idea, like, could it be something that maybe like a deluxe version has wheels that once it's set, you flip the switch and wheels pop out and kind of go underneath it?
Wow. Octodolly 2.0.
I know. Look at that. We're already in the 2.0. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, because moving gigantic plants around can be challenging, especially if there's like loose soil. Because you can put it on like an edge and like wheel it over awkwardly to a different spot, but you're at risk of things getting all over the place and making a giant mess.
Or breaking branches. Like
Breaking
sometimes
branches.
people have I don't know what they are, if they're like fiddle ferns or what, but I'm like, that's not a houseplant. That's a tree. How do you move that tree? You know, so
Right.
they're like, it takes a couple people and I need a lot of help doing it. And I'm like, boy, I'm an independent person and I like to like put things on my list and then check them off and figure out ways I can do it all by myself.
Of course.
And an Octodolly would really help me out.
And it's got a great name.
It's what I'm looking for in
And
ideas.
not enough things are octopus shaped.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that branding it with spider could be more divisive because there are people who have more legit spider fears than they do octopus fears.
And I also think octopuses don't live in plants.
Correct.
But a spider could take up residence.
Yeah.
And that might be spooky if you're not into that.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind a spider living in some plants to eat some of the stuff that we don't want in
Shouldn't
there.
be there. Exactly. But yes, less divisive.
Well, I love that. I love I've been embracing having plants in my home. For anybody who's watching on Spotify, I'm going to try to like tilt my thing over some more, but like I've got a little hanging plant up there on this shelf next to me. There's a little dangly hangy plant over here. Directly behind me, I've got, let's see. Oh, the microphone is blocking it. And then there's like some stuff over there. This little guy over here is a lot of fun. He's been doing great. So I've been certainly embracing plant life. I feel like for a long time it was very intimidating and maybe I was too flighty or maybe I was away from the house too much to like be constantly thinking about like watering my plants. And there are more than what I just showed you. I don't have anything like gigantic that takes up a lot of space. I do have a couple that are hanging, which is nice. And it's really awesome to have plants around. And when they're doing well, I don't know, it feels nice to look at it and be like, it's doing well because of me.
Yeah. And we had like a snake plant that started rather small. I might say like, you know, a 10-gallon size. I mean, not like, you know, small, but like,
right.
You know, you could move it around. And then we replanted it. And when bits of it would start to twist or the dog would hit a thing and it would break over, I looked up how to sort of doctor up my snake plant. And it's like a succulent and you can propagate it in a certain way if you do XYZ. And so then I started putting the healed leaves back in the soil, and then new stuff started to come up. Like, this thing is thriving.
Ooh, things are happening.
But when we replanted it in the larger pot, it was kind of static.
Yeah.
And that's where it lived. And in all of, yes, my home improvement headspace for the past couple of months, we've been like, ooh, we got to move that. Just kidding. That's where it lives.
Well, what's also tricky about plants is that sometimes they do want to be in a cramped space, and that's when they thrive. And so then it is this complicated balance of like, should it be moved into a different, larger vessel, or is it supposed to be anything like this? And that takes a lot of the, I don't know, it makes things more complicated. One of the ideas that you had very early on in this podcast years ago that I think about all the time. Do you remember, Is It Raining in Arizona?
Yes.
Is It Raining in Arizona is your app idea for people who own succulents and cacti and things like that. Because how do you know how often to water something like that? They thrive in Arizona. Is it raining in Arizona? So I have a succulent that I have in my kitchen by a window. And when I look at it all the time and I'm just like, do I water you now? Is it raining in Arizona? I think about it all the time.
All
Louise.
the time. Now I have 3 succulents right now. Oh, if I count the snake plant, 4, but 3. And like, I can't tell you the last time I watered 3 of them. And they look great. So I'm hoping that they're in some kind of like dormant moment.
Yeah.
Because it's been maybe August, September.
Well, the one that I have, that I was just talking about, I got in July, and I've watered it maybe 8 times, and I'm thinking, is that too much? Because at one point I let it go, and like a little thing kind of started growing out of it that didn't look right, and I was just like, is that bad? Is that good? What's happening? Is it raining in Arizona? So I think about that all the time.
Yeah. Ooh.
So, okay.
Great ideas.
I know yeah, look at you with your great ideas. I had this one idea that I feel like pairs kind of nicely with your plant, your octopod? Octodolly, I'm sorry. With
She's
Octodolly. But that's the thing is like an anthropomorphized thing. Like it's very cute. Associating something with an animal, very cute. I have an idea for like a cute item that is completely unnecessary, and I don't know if such a thing exists. I believe that I looked it up and I couldn't find anything, so my cursory internet search has given me nothing. But it is before I say what it is, I want you to picture something. It's New York City.
This.
It's New York
Sicily.
City. We're not doing Golden Girls right now. Maybe later. We're talking New York. It is 1978. It's pretty rough. There's, the streets aren't very well lit. There's people out at all hours of the night doing who knows what, living their lives. And in the distance, you hear something. You look around and you say, I don't see where this music is coming from. But then you look slightly up and you look and see on a fire escape, there is a gentleman playing the saxophone. Louise, describe to me what this looks like for you.
He is wearing sort of a brown tweed blazer that's oversized and maybe has shoulder pads. He's got on a mustard tie that's like a little bit too big in the knot area.
Okay.
He has got a bright red patent leather neck strap for his saxophone.
Uh-huh.
And his hair looks like feathery.
I knew you were going to say feathery.
Like mullety.
Mm-hmm.
And the fire escape is like freshly painted.
Ooh, it's freshly
glossy
painted.
Black.
Okay.
But the black has now like dripped down onto the sidewalk.
Interesting.
Okay.
And the atmosphere. Talk about the atmosphere. What's
it's
what's
like
going
kind
on?
of, yeah, it's a little bit, it's dusk, but you can see there's smoke all around because it's this late 70s and everybody's a chain smoker. So
you're talking about smoke from cigarette smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it can also be smog if we want it to be, but...
Well, no, I'm glad that you said smoke. It's interesting you said cigarette smoke because, of course, I'm thinking smoke... I say of course, not of course, but I'm thinking smoke coming from a grate on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
The exhaust from the sanitation
from
or
underground
subways.
life. Yeah, the mole people. Exactly. So how fun would it be for there to be some sort of tea kettle situation that when you know that the water is boiling and ready, when the steam comes up and there's a little character on top and the steam creates the saxophone sound blowing through the saxophone player's sax. Exactly.
He is ready.
Yeah. And so all this, it's a tea kettle. You get a saxophone player on top. Maybe there's even a design on it that looks like a fire escape in an urban setting.
I love it.
Yeah. That's where my head's at for this.
Oh my God, I love it. You know what this reminds me of? Like,
Tell me.
just because my brain does that. Have you seen those tiny little gargoyles that are magnetic that people put on door hinges?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm going to have to try to find that. But it's like, it's just such a cute, not having a purpose. Yours has a purpose. But like, this is just to be adorable.
Yeah.
And that would be very delightful.
Yeah.
For a tea kettle. And you could even like collect different scenes.
Ooh.
Like you could have an English countryside and like a little bird.
Yeah.
That instead of a saxophone sound is like a little gentle twitter. a little tweet, a little songbird.
Yeah. You know, I feel like there are a couple of those, well, I'm just going to say late 70s, certainly other eras would apply, but the certain pairing of like music and visual in that, like, let's just say late 70s urban setting. It's the saxophone player on the fire escape. And also, Louise, where would you assume people in an urban setting at night might be singing doo-wop?
A subway platform.
Ooh, a subway platform is good. I like that too. My mind goes to a garbage can fire.
Yes!
They're standing around that garbage can and they're just like, I just gotta sing doo-wop.
Yes.
I love it.
Me too.
So here's the next Insta idea. So there's those like solo stoves, those kind of outdoor fire pits and whatever. How great would it be to have a like an accessory that you can get for like the mini solo stove, where it's just like figures of a doo-wop group that you put around it?
I like it. Or like cats, like Heathcliff.
Oh,
like you could just get like to go around it so you see the silhouettes.
Oh, that's fun. Heathcliff.
I like it.
Oh my goodness. That's so funny.
I know. I love it.
Louise, the past several episodes have been kind of going through and seeing what is going to be ending soon on Kickstarter. And I found something that I thought that we might have a few thoughts on. Should we watch a little video?
Let's do it.
For listeners, this is something called Pizza Form. That is a machine that presses pizza dough into shapes.
Hello everyone, my name is Davide Marafino and I'm here to share a dream that has finally taken shape. Pizza Form, the world's first machine capable of customizing the shape of your pizza. After years of research, experiment and sleepless night, I have finally succeeded. Pizza Form is in reality. This machine allows you to create pizza in any shape you desire, from star to heart, to unique custom shape for special events.
Okay, so now we're looking at a bunch of designs and machinery cutting things.
We made many prototypes to test the functionality until we produced the working prototype.
After 1 year of work, we're driving through.
Sorry for my English. Now I go to factory for produce the first part of the pizza form, and I hope that the prototype is very well and we can see together. Our machine have the laser cutting technology for stainless steel. We look for the best quality to create a unique product.
So we've got a router machine cutting things, and he's looking at it.
This is my friend Piero, that is specialist for CNC machine. You can see.
Oh yeah, that CNC, it's blasting stuff. We have blueprints with gears on them. We got more of the machine. It's real industrial porn right here. Another machine. Somebody buffing out. Yeah, buffing out some metal. Screwing in some machinery parts. Ooh, welding. Soldering, whatever. Robust lever. Professional spring. Now you see it all come together. You have the heart-shaped pan. It says forms mold. Oh, it's like a magnet that goes on the bottom there. Pasta position. What?
So,
Removable top. Pizza form. Thepizzaform.com. All right, Louise, what do you think of pizza form?
that was a very intense video.
Yeah. We need a bit of an audio mix on that video.
Yeah. First, I have like two simultaneous thoughts, and the logical part of my brain is like, we don't need it. And then like the super whimsical part of my brain is like, I love it. Hats, stars, cats, flowers, like
Right.
Get all the shapes, like custom shapes. Like what other shapes are there? Trapezoid.
Yeah. Christmas tree.
Yeah. For these pizzas. That's cool. I wonder why it needs to be pressed instead of like cookie cuttered.
Well, that's okay. So it's interesting that you say that. So I'm going to go ahead and let you in on a little conversation I had with, I'm not going to name the name here, but somebody who is in our lives who lives and works in the pizza world. And so what they said is basically pizzerias can do this with a slicer. And when I kind of was asking some more questions, I was thinking, does also the dough need to be stretched in order for it to like have that pizza crust consistency that you like, and the the crispiness and stuff of it? And because when you see in this video, it's just throwing down a blob of dough and pressing the thing down. And so what our pizza friend says is there are dope presses available just like this that push your dough in a circle, but pushing it into a shape seems pretty much impossible without some human interaction. That would take away more time than just stretching a pizza in a circle and cutting out the shape you want. So I agree. When you watch the video and you look at the way that it presses the dough into a form, there's essentially a cut that happens in the video where it presses down and then there's like a cut and then it's in this perfect shape. And it's like, you think that the press would kind of squeeze the dough out and you'd have to remove excess dough from around the edges. Cause you're thinking like cookie cutter style where you're creating like a negative space inside of the greater blob of dough. Davide Marafino, proud of you, dog, for getting out there and making this thing happen. It looks like it's a lot of work, and I mean it's a pretty large piece of machinery to accomplish this type of thing for a pretty specific need. But we love ingenuity here on iHoggy Bindi.
I was also going to say, is it to take away overworking the dough because you want the gluten to bond in such a way,
Right.
but not too much? But it also didn't look like any of that was going into it. And I thought, if you do it for events or parties,
Yeah.
are you like a mobile food truck that can do hearts or stars for somebody's summer
Right.
birthday and you drive up? So it's the business buying the press, and then inside the truck you've got the ovens? Or is this at your home?
This takes up way too much countertop real estate to be an at-home device.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. But I do like making it happen. Like having a thought, an idea,
Yeah.
going through all the processes, because you know who's not going to do that? This girl.
This gal. So Davide Marafino, innovator from Catalina, Italy, passion for revolutionizing the food customization industry. With years of experience as the creator of successful products, Davide has consistently pushed the boundaries of technology and creativity. Yeah, so
he's one of us.
He's one of us, except he makes it happen. This isn't a 2 half lunches kind of guy. This is like the real deal. Mm-hmm. I mean, the way that they're showing things on the Kickstarter page, and we're going to put a link to that in the show notes, it involves like takeout boxes. I mean, it's a stock video of people eating pizza in an apartment with like, you know, cardboard boxes and stuff. So they're in circular shapes. But it seems like that's the idea, is that that's what you're doing. And it looks like the early bird special is indicating that this would go for about €300 as an early bird special, but retailing an MSRP of about €600. So that's about 40% off. So
I also just had a thought.
Yeah?
Because I'm trying to think of the scale of this. Am I just being a dumb American and being like the size of a pizza, when really to an Italian, like the flower or the heart would be about as big as your face. So every shape is a personal pan.
You know, I'm looking at the some photos of this on Kickstarter, and I'll try to pop some of these into the edit here so we can see them if you're watching on Spotify, and if you don't want to follow along on the link in the show notes. But essentially, if I'm looking at the scale of one of these heart-shaped pizzas next to a receipt, it's like, I mean, you can't really say like 10-inch pie because it's an odd shape, mm-hmm. But I'd say it's about a 8 to 10-inch pie.
Okay.
So a little bit bigger than your head, but certainly more of a personal size pizza situation. Yeah, all of them kind of fit onto what looks like a regular size plate.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know. Oh, and Louise, guess what shape it also makes?
Ooh, what?
Circle. Circle.
Oh, circle. Of course it does.
It says the classic choice, perfect for any occasion and a timeless favorite for pizza lovers. So, Davide, I hope that you achieve all of your goals here. Currently, at the day that we're recording this, there's 23 days to go, 20 backers. There's about $7,400 raised already for a pledged goal of $9,400. And so it's essentially a €9,000 goal with €7,106 pledged. So that's where we're at.
Best of luck.
Best of luck, Davide. This is it's exciting. I wish nothing but the best for you, my friend. So yeah, I don't know. Speechless.
Yeah. I'm not an expert, so I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, I like the ride.
Yeah.
I think the ride's cool.
The ride's great.
Okay. I see we're at about a half hour. I'm just going to go ahead and launch into, and this can be quick, but I feel like it's kind of bouncing off of pizza form pretty nicely. But I have an idea for a new food, Louise.
Ooh, okay.
A brand new food.
Brand new.
Okay. Name me 2 things that you eat off the cob.
Corn.
Uh-huh. Silence. Interesting. That's because there's only one food that you eat off the cob, and that's why I'm thinking we need more than one food that you eat off the cob. So, my idea is, it's not so much of a recipe because there aren't specifics here, but basically, you start with your ear of corn, and you might need to like lightly boil it or something like that, get it started, but everything stays on the cob, grill it, whatever. And then you essentially take your, I guess, Mexican food items, traditionally Mexican food items. That goes well with corn. Or it could be more of like a, you know, a burgery backyard barbecue kind of a thing. But I'm thinking like you take a mixture of beans and some tomato, not very wet tomato, but some tomato. And then whether it's seasoned ground beef or soy chorizo, something like that, you form a kind of a dough of that. Maybe you need some sort of like binder, a corn starch or something like that. That's going to like keep things together. You wrap it around your ear of corn, and then you wrap that in like phyllo dough or a puff pastry or something like that, and then you bake it. I'm telling you, you got a new food on the cob, because that phyllo dough, it's going to hold it together so that when you take a bite, things aren't just going to fall apart. And you've got a new food on the cob.
I like it. I thought you were going to say you put all of those ingredients in like a food processor to make like a
paste,
faux breadcrumb
okay,
consistency. Wet the corn, wrap it in the crumb mixture, and then deep fry it so that all of those flavors are on it, and then you eat that off the cob, or burrito style, where
that's
you
another
have
way of approaching it.
The ingredients, and then you wrap it in a tortilla.
Mm-hmm.
Cabrito. I don't know how to. Yeah. Ooh. Look, the possibilities here.
I know. All I'm saying is that more food needs to be eaten off the cob. That's why I said this is a quick one. This is a quick one. So if anybody out there wants to try it, email us, greatideapod@gmail.com, and let us know how it goes. Take photos and send it over, because we'd love to see how that works out for you.
Love.
Okay, Louise, on the last episode, last time on I Have a Great Idea, but I'll never do it, I challenged you to a new snow day activity.
Okay.
You got something for me?
I don't just have one thing. I've got two. How about that?
Let's hear it.
Okay. I was recently having a conversation with my in-laws about how I wanted to, not legally, but change my daughter's birthday.
Okay.
Because it's the early second week of December, and it's just difficult with all of the hullabaloo between Thanksgiving and Christmas or New Year's to get people to focus.
Right.
In the same way that they focus if you have a June birthday or an April birthday or an August birthday. It's just harder. And riffing on we're just going to move Thanksgiving and make it two Halloweens, like that kind of thing.
Right.
Her birthday can remain the same, but the party is going to be a different day, because so many of her friends have June, July birthdays, and they can rent in our area bubble trucks.
Bubble trucks.
And they come.
You live in suburbia.
I know. And they come and like open up their window and then have like guns and machines make your front yard a bubble, like
I'm thinking like a
utopia.
1930s like gangster car with suicide doors that opens up and there's Tommy guns that come out, except it's bubbles.
Yes, that's exactly it. So the idea for a snow day activity, because we've got the technology, I'm sure.
Okay.
I saw on the internet that if you add sugar and Dawn soap to bubble solution, and you have like the shirt surface, like not your skin because there's oils, but the bubbles are indestructible and don't break if you've got on like cotton gloves. Yes, they're called sugar bubbles. Look them up. Okay, snow day activity. School's canceled. Everybody's going crazy. There might not be enough snow on the ground to actually go sledding or build a snowman, but you ring up, I'd like to make a reservation for the sugar bubble truck.
Right.
And they come with these indestructible bubbles to your front yard and have bubbles in the winter.
Okay.
I know. That's a snow day activity that you call them up, you hire them out, you play.
You play.
And you play. That's it.
I'd never heard. I know that there's been a lot of like innovations in bubble technology over the years, and the sugar bubbles are pretty fascinating. The things that people are figuring out is wild to me, especially when it comes to Dawn soap. It seems like that's an ingredient in like every single like weird craft hack.
Yeah. And
Wild.
it cleans the oil spills off ducks.
I know. They won't let us forget that. That's like their whole thing.
I was going to say, that's the only thing I care about.
I know. I mean,
can use water and a cloth to wash my dishes, but Lord save those ducks.
okay. Can we go into a new segment that I want to call Conspiracy Theory Zone?
We can, but also don't forget I have a separate snow day activity.
I know you do, but we're
Okay.
on Dawn right now.
Dawn.
Okay, I think that there's nothing better for the Dawn Corporation's image than an oil spill.
Oh, 5,000.
So
Are
it's
they
in
responsible?
Dawn's best interest to make sure that there are continuous oil spills going on.
Sad.
Yeah, they're all about those pipelines. They're all about the oil rigs crashing into the ocean so they can swoop in and save the day with dish liquid.
Don't go away, you're no good for us. Just kidding. Wait, do you know that song?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's the Four Seasons. Okay.
Oh, okay. So where my desk is positioned, I have a great view to my front window that looks out to the street, and these two amazing dogs in jackets just walked by. Okay, Louise, you had before we go on to your other snow day activity. Also, if anybody from the Dawn Corporation is listening, we do not think that you actually are for oil spills. I just want to
No.
make sure that that's clear. Go on,
And
Louise.
shameless weird plug. If someone buys me a travel thing of like Palmolive or whatever to wash my dishes while I'm at a motel at a lake or whatever, I'm like, wish I had Dawn. So just for the record, I am brand loyal. And I do prefer you. Okay, the second idea with changing my daughter's birthday. You get an attachment for an awning
Okay.
and frozen style Christoph cheese grater giant block of ice. And it cheese grates over your lawn so that you can have snow in the summer.
Oh, so okay, here's what I like about this is that I challenge you to snow day activity, but you are creating snow days.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Into it.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. How much ice would you have to have?
One block.
Yeah, a giant block. Where do you get a giant block of ice?
Christoph.
Christoph. I don't know him.
No.
I don't have his contact information.
No. Oh, God. But, well, because I was thinking, too, it's unpredictable. And a lot of places don't have snow days anymore because they've adopted remote learning for such an occasion. So it's not even like you're guaranteed the free time.
My brother Dan, who is a high school teacher in Seattle, they had snow days recently, and he had to do classes over Teams or something, and I was baffled because do you remember listening to the radio or watching the news on a day when it was snowing in the hopes
At
that you would
5:30
hear
a.m.
your school's name uttered or scrolling across the bottom of a screen?
Absolutely. The anticipation and then elation when they called your school's name.
Yeah. And then you look over at your parents and they're just like, oh no.
But I was a latchkey kid.
Right,
So
yeah.
I feel like my mom was like, well, I'm going to work. Figure it out.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Got leftovers in the fridge.
Right? Yeah. Well, it's different experiences all around, especially these days when people don't have those opportunities. So yeah, you got to create those opportunities. You have to give yourself a snow day.
Yep.
I like it.
And I challenged you to.
Clothing layers.
Okay.
All right. I feel like something like this may have come up before, but I don't remember, so I'm just going to go with it. But It is a device that essentially straps around your waist, or maybe it attaches onto the back of a belt or belt loops or something like that. But it's a lot like a window shade, like a roll-up window shade situation where like you tug it and the shade goes up. This is for, light jackets or sweaters, where it is part of this system that you put on, and then if you need to remove a layer, maybe you're on a hike, you're at a music festival, and it's gone from like morning to evening or whatever, you either, pop out this jacket, this light jacket or sweater or something, or you take it off and you just kind of tug it and it goes and it pops right up. You're the sound effect person. I'm not good at sound effects. What's the sound effect for that one?
I don't even know. In my head, it wasn't rolling up, it was rolling down and then was in like a belt around your waist. Like you're
okay, good. That's the same thing that I did, and it sounded awful. Okay.
Cut it out.
No, we're not cutting it out. So yeah, it would. Ooh, there's a big dog walking by my house right now. Ooh, I want to go snuggle with that guy.
Last time on Dog Talk.
Last time on Dog Talk, there were these two dogs that just walked by with jackets, and they were very cute. Yeah, it was like 10 seconds ago. So yeah, it's on your belt, so you kind of pull it up, and it goes over you, and then when you're done, you take it off, give it a little tug, and it just kind of zips right back into its little system.
Very fun. I would buy that.
It seems like something that you would be into.
I would buy that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because then you don't have to like carry something around with you,
Absolutely.
Now, this isn't a solution if it is winter and you have a giant bulky thing and then the sun is out and you're just like, ooh, I wish I had something slightly less bulky. I mean, there you're kind of SOL, but this is more of like a, the weather is already favorable. Or it could be a situation where it's like, look, it might rain today, it might not rain today, but I know that this thing has, a windbreaker with a hood that at least I can pop out if I need it.
Yeah. Or even like some sort of a poncho-y situation where it's like thin, but it looked beautiful and now it's raining. So you just need to zip, zip, pop, and it.
Yeah. They
out.
have so many of those ponchos that fit into like a little pouch, and I don't think that I've ever successfully gotten one back into the pouch. I just can't do it. I can't figure out the mechanics behind it. So that doesn't work for me.
This one has a mechanism.
There's a mechanism.
Rolls it up for you.
Come on, people, a mechanism. Yeah, and somebody else will come up with the way that you clean things. Maybe there's like a very light like zipper or something that connects it that you can detach and then throw it in the wash or whatever. But that's what I got.
I like it.
Yeah. So for our next episode, Louise, I want to challenge you to, okay, we just watched this pizza press thing, and we have things that we like about it, we have things that we don't like about it. I want you to come up with a new pizza innovation. Pizza innovation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me not forget that. Okay. And I feel like it's something we've done. It's something we've done before, but we can always improve upon it.
Okay.
A dog innovation.
A dog innovation. Well, I'm telling you, I've got plenty of inspiration, whether it's looking out my front window or looking at my couch where my dog, no doubt, is right now. Let me take a look. Wait, I don't see him. I don't know where that dude is.
He's living his dreams.
He's out there doing something. He's always on the couch. He must be really annoyed by me. I'm probably keeping him up right now by blabbing, running my mouth.
Come on, Dad. Shush.
God, he's so annoying. Ugh. I wish I had my room. That's what he's like. Little brat. Okay, cool. Dog innovation. And you know what, Louise? The aforementioned pizza person who we both know, if you want to collaborate with them, I give you permission.
Oh, my word. Okay. Really, though?
We'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
Well, listeners, if you have a great idea that you want to share with us, give us a call, 304-804-IDEA. That's 304-804-4332. And you can tell us your amazing, great idea that you'll never do, and we'll talk about it on the show. Email us, greatideapod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Rate the show, review it on Apple Podcasts, leave us a comment on Spotify. Well, I don't know what else I'm forgetting here, but I just really appreciate everyone who's listening. And Louise, I appreciate the hell out of you.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
I don't see it happening.